Hey everyone, my name is Bran. Welcome to the Geek XP. I am joined by two of my good friends and fellow Pokemon enthusiasts, and we are here today to talk about our first impressions with Pokemon Sun and Moon. I am joined by my friends Marley
Hey everybody, what's going on?
and my friend Carson,
What's up?
and they also have their own respective YouTube channels. Marley can be found on Marley D on YouTube, and Carson is part of the dynamic duo on Save Station. So we've been playing Pokemon together for a couple years. We all met in college and we're playing together. And so we've battled a lot, traded, talked about the game design and the story throughout the games. And we've played the game to varying amounts over the course of this opening weekend. It's Sunday after the initial launch of the game at the time of this recording. And I just wanted to get your guys' input and sort of put our thoughts out there on our first impressions with the game. Carson, you got Moon, right?
Yes, I have Moon. Yep.
And Marley and I both got Sun.
Yeah, because
So
that lion is so cool.
He is a Zoid. He is Liger's son.
Yeah, Liger son.
So Carson, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. So I got pretty lucky. I had a day off, and it was Friday, so that's when the game came out. So I had to, do a few things like personal projects and stuff before the game actually came, and I could play it. But then when it came in the mail around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I was like, boom, ready to play Pokemon, dive in, and I was a little surprised with how long the intro kind of to the game is. It really eases you into it, and I think I understand why they're doing it. It's because I think they know a lot of new players might be coming in and really old players that haven't played in a while. So I think they did that on purpose, and I can totally manage that. It's fine. It's like, okay, I get it. I'll just get through this. It is a little lengthy though, maybe 2 to 3 hours long, where they're giving you new information. So that's just something to keep in mind. You can power through that, then you're into the game. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It is fantastic. I love the new Pokemon and some of the old Pokemon with new forms. Yeah, new forms is pretty awesome too.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can burn through more of that intro stuff if you're not searching all the areas and going into every building and talking to every NPC
Which
I
do.
Was.
Yeah,
I was
that's
doing
what
that
I
as well.
do too. So I mean, you could probably burn through it a lot quicker if you're just focused on okay, the game says I should go here, so I'm just gonna go straight here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you're not like us, who's like, ooh, I can go in this gate and explore through this grass.
Yeah.
Let me try to see which exact Pokemon are in this batch of grass
Yeah.
for an hour.
Yep.
Let's see if there's an item down here. Or let's see who in this building gives me an item. Nobody? Okay, well, I'm glad I spent 10 minutes exploring it and talking to all these very interesting people.
There's one building filled with Delibird, and one Delibird gave me a revive, so I spent the whole, I spent 5 minutes talking to all the other Delibird. None of the other Delibird gave me stuff.
just a bunch of, ah!
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. So Carson, what do you say is a big plus of for this game compared to previous titles?
I think the trials and the trial captains of the Kahunas is a very great way to kind of freshen up the franchise. I'm really enjoying the challenges. I've done, I think, 4 trial captains now, and I've moved on to the next island. I'm off Melee, which is the first island, and I'm to the next one. I've done 2 or I think 3 Kahunas, and they're really interesting battles. It's very, I don't want to say too much, but they always bring in the Kahuna Pokemon is supercharged, and it brings in an ally Pokemon, and you gotta battle both of them. It's kind of difficult. On the 3rd Kahuna, I died multiple times.
Oh wow!
I think partly it was because of my fault. My team wasn't built to beat it very well. But it was difficult.
But that's cool. I mean, because even in past games, in X and Y, your team composition could be crap, but you could still sweep those gyms no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm surprised because the games to me have progressively become. They feel a little easier.
Yeah.
Especially with the way they've changed how the EXP share works, and they give this EXP share really quick.
Yeah.
They give the experience share like right off of the bat.
And
Like,
And
wow,
they turn
okay.
it on for you.
They turn it
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, they don't even make that an
automatically.
option. So I'm happy to hear that, you know, the way that they're presenting these challenges can be difficult if you're not necessarily prepared for it.
Yeah.
We're not saying that, you know, like, oh, these games are hard, and it's like, you know, but like if a surprising challenge shows up, I'm more than happy to be like, oh, cool, and it, like, because, you know, Pokemon for me is what's the word? It's a game that I can just sit down and sort of play. I don't have necessarily to think about it too much if I'm not playing competitively. If I'm just going through the story mode, it's very sort of relaxing and mind-numbing, and I can just sort of sit there and play it and grind through a couple of areas for, you know, a while. And I rather like that. But, you know, if every once in a while it surprises me, I'll be happy about that. I've only played maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours into it. I'm on my way to my first trial. I just fought Elena, what's his name? The first captain.
Oh, okay.
What's
Yes,
his name?
yes.
Was it that first battle where he's testing you out?
Yeah, right after Team Skull attacks
Yeah.
you.
The
So
normal
I just,
type. The normal type master.
Yeah, so we had our battle, and now I'm on my way to Route 2 to do that. But and so Carson, just so that we can sort of hit all points on each person before we move on, you went with Rowlet for your starter.
Yep, very happy with that.
You're happy with that choice?
Yes, I love Rowlet, and I've got him to evolve up to what's his name? Yeah, Dartrix. Yep.
Nice. And in terms of other Pokemon outside of your starter, do you have a favorite from the Alolan forms or Alolan Pokedex that you are really enjoying right now?
Well, right now, I haven't actually caught any Alolan forms. Nothing has really like stood out to me quite yet on that front. I'm waiting for the Ninetales or the Vulpix. I want that on my team.
Yep.
So that will be probably the Alolan form that's going to be on my team. New Pokemon wise, I'm a big fan of Crab Brawler. He's
so cool.
He's really good too. Like his
Mm-hmm.
attack stat is through the roof. Is insane.
There's one of the Kahunas. It's the first one. He's got a Crab Brawler. It knows Power Up Punch, and then I'm pretty sure his Crab Brawler's ability is Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Lots of damage.
Can it learn Drain Punch? Because Power Up Punch, Drain Punch would be
Probably
terrifying. Hold on, let me look. Power Up Punch, Dizzy Punch. I've got Cerebi open right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm not seeing Drain Punch in its stats right now.
It's pretty powerful though.
Yeah. Yep.
It's got Dizzy Punch, which
That's
is pretty cool.
Does that automatically inflict confusion?
Yeah, it also may leave the target confused. 20% chance.
Okay.
But yeah, he's pretty cool. I have broken and looked at the Alolan Pokedex.
Boo!
I did too.
Yeah.
I haven't looked yet.
I couldn't help myself. I was like, I have to know.
Yeah, I mean, I did it during X and Y. And I was still sort of excited, like, wow, because like some of them they didn't show us, or like, I mean, I didn't see them.
Yeah.
And I mean, compared to X and Y, I haven't been as invested in looking up everything as it comes out. So I had that sort of nice surprise, but I did break and look at it, and I've got it open now, just so that like if we're bringing up anything, we can make sure that we're accurate. So that, you know, I don't post this and people are like, oh, you plebs, actually, Crab Brawler can learn Drain Punch, if you breed him with, and, you know, that sort of, if we can, it'll happen anyway, but if we can try to avoid it, there's that.
Yeah, sure.
But sweet, awesome. So, Marley, what about you?
So wait, what are we?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just like one thing that you like, something that you've really liked about this game compared to previous titles. Anything that you've disliked, your starter, and then like some favorites for the new Pokemon.
So I'm really liking how narrative heavy it seems to be this time around. There are like lots of moments where they break for like cutscenes, and that first hour of the game, they really do a great job of talking about the culture of the island and the customs and stuff, and like the mythology behind like the totem Pokemons like Tapu Koko and whatnot. I was talking to another friend, and I was saying it's cool because this is the first time where it feels like a living, breathing culture instead of just a skin for a place. Like Kalos never felt like it really took advantage of Parisian culture beyond the like Eiffel Tower and
True, and some of the food.
And a couple people saying French words every once in a while.
And like you know, being from New York, Unova looked like New York, but it didn't. Was never particularly like I didn't watch and go, this is so New York of them. Like, but
also for New York, it has like 0 cars, and Alola has all of them.
Yeah. So I'm really liking the heavy focus on narrative and the living kind of breathing culture of it. The environments are beautiful. Like I'm having a lot of fun exploring all the like little nooks and crannies so far. And I'm only on Melee Island so far. I think I am right at my first Kahuna battle with the guy in the big yellow coat. I'm forgetting his name. Hala.
Yep.
And I have started and not beaten this fight 4 times.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I am pleasantly surprised to hear these warnings of actual challenge ahead.
Yeah. I finished my first trial. That I got through pretty okay. But yeah, the Kahuna battle is tough, and it might be my team comp, but like I said, in past Pokemon games, it almost never mattered.
It helped me a lot. I had Rowlet on my team, and since he's fighting oriented, my starter is my strongest Pokemon, so I didn't have much trouble with him just because of my starter.
But you had trouble later on.
I had trouble later on.
Yeah, and I'm having because right now I started with Litten. I named him Muerte. It's going to be terribly appropriate once he's the big luchador. So I have Litten. I've got Alola Grimer. I've got a Lediba, and then I've got Alola Rattata. So I've got a big old fighting weakness because of all these dark types. So
you didn't pick up Picky Peck?
No, I did not pick up Picky Peck. I want one of the Oricorios for my bird.
Oh, there you go.
So
there you go.
I'm gonna go with one of them. But no, it's like I'm really digging the heavy narrative, and I'm really, really enjoying the challenge of it, which is like 2 things that I really wanted in this game. So I'm having a ball so far.
Nice. Anything that you found that you're sort of disappointed by so far, or that you're sort of like, that you find sort of monotonous or frustrating?
I found the selection of new Pokemon at the beginning kind of disappointing. The starting area is a lot of Pokemon that we already know, which is fine. It's they could be using that as a bait and carrot to get you to kind of keep playing to get to the new guys. But I was kind of hoping for a little more, some more new guys. Just I kept running in like Pichu and Spearow. Spearow's another one that's showing up all the time.
I haven't run into a single Spearow.
Oh, really? Because I've got them in spades. Please take some off my hands. So I guess that's my one beef. But like I said, I'm once I beat him, I'll get off Melee Island, and I'm sure I'll start running into some more things. But if I have one beef so far, that's it.
All right. And you went with Litten. All right. And in terms of new Pokemon that you're really excited about, like from the Alolan Pokedex?
So I'm super jazzed about Golem. I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him yet.
Look at his reaction.
He's so good. You guys can't see it, but I've seen him, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him yet, but Carson told me his typing. For your listeners, Golem's one of my favorite Kanto Pokemon, like, ever. So I'm super excited that he's got an Alola form. But I haven't looked at him yet. I know the typing with a rock electric, which is so cool. So I'm super hyped to see him. But like I keep going into little caves and like not finding any Geodudes and just being like, I'm done.
Damn it.
Alolan Golem because fuck birds.
So I think that's probably the Alola Pokemon I'm the most excited about.
Nice. All right, yeah. So for me, I agree with you, Marley. One of my biggest things that I'm really happy about that the game does right off the bat is that it's very narrative.
Yeah.
Like right off the bat, like you meet with the professor to choose like what your character looks like and you put in your name, and then we get this cool cutscene showing this other character doing this thing. Like there's a plot that's moving right away, whereas in the previous games, it mostly starts with the trainer, and then the plot sort of gets revealed in little pieces. But the way that's set up is that like we're really focused on our gym journey, like getting all the badges, challenging the Pokemon League, and that sort of thing. And the plot is there to service strong trainers and Pokemon that we can battle to level up. But this game, before we even get to control our trainer, we see this plot unfolding.
Yeah.
And we see this girl where she's running from these goons, and
Lily.
then this mysterious Pokemon makes them disappear. And then when we get to Alola, we don't get our Pokemon right away, and we go find this girl Lily again, and her Pokemon, nicknamed Nebby, Cosmog, is on this bridge and attacked by Spearow, and we get this cool scene that just, to me, is very reminiscent of Ash's adventures in the Pokemon anime.
Yeah.
Like, he would run across the dangerous bridge and use his body as a shield from, of course, more Spearow, because
they're just the worst.
Catch a break. Yeah. And then, you know, the Pokemon does this thing, they're in danger, and then, of course, Ash would get encountered by this legendary Pokemon. That seems to be like, everywhere he goes, he meets them. So we get saved by this legendary Pokemon, you have this cool moment, and you get to build all this narrative before you even get your first Pokemon. Because if it was just like, oh, go fight a Spearow to save this Pokemon, to learn the basics of combat, it'd be like, okay. But, like, it's more about just, like, the story and the characters moving forward. Obviously, it's still a Pokemon game, so we're not getting into too much with the character. We're sort of just, like, this mute vessel for us to experience the game. But compared to previous titles, I have really enjoyed the amount of story just right off the bat. On the flip side, in terms of what you said, Carson, I am not a fan of how long this sort of, like, tutorial process goes about.
Yeah.
Pokemon is not a difficult game. They've added a lot of new features to sort of pull back the curtain on some of the mechanics. Like, you can see how low your stats have been lowered or raised by hitting on your Pokemon when they get that little plus symbol. You can see what moves are super effective or not after you face a certain Pokemon before.
Yep.
There's a lot of things put into the game to sort of ease that sort of learning curve. So, while I understand while there has to be some, like, intro, I felt like the amount in previous games was sufficient to learn it, because at the end of the day, it's not a complicated game, and you sort of, the amount of information they present to you is enough so that as you progress through the game, you are allowed to, like, you start off fire, grass, water. You know, rock, paper, scissors, that's pretty easy to understand.
Yep.
So even if you're brand new to the game, then you're introduced to, like, normal types. So you understand, like, okay, so they're pretty, you know, they don't really do so much against a lot of things, but there's not too many things that are good against them. You know, the birds, so you get flying and bug, and so you understand that. And there's this gradual introduction to typings. And maybe since there seems to be quite a diverse range of Pokemon in this early area, maybe that's why they decided to have all this extra stuff. But I really feel that Pokemon is not complex enough where we need to have our tutorial be this stretched out. And so I'm not a huge fan of that. It feels like it drags a lot, whereas it's like, I want to get to this story that you've showed me. Like, don't bait me with this cool story that I want to progress through and these cool challenges that I love. Because that's another thing I really like about the game is how different it feels.
Yeah.
Like, I love that it's not like, there are gym leaders that you can challenge, and then if you get all 8 badges, you can challenge the Pokemon League. It's just because we've done that for years now. And I love that it's just like, yeah, so it's like there are 4 kahunas, and there are all these, like, trials that you have to go through on these different islands. It's just like, I don't know what that means. Like, and so, like, I'm excited to go and figure out what that is. So I'm excited for how different that feels. I'm excited for how different they've made Alola feel. I love the Rotom Dex. I love having the little electronic sidekick who talks to me.
He's super cute. I think this is the closest I've felt to playing Yellow for the first time.
Yeah, I think because Yellow version took a lot of cues from the anime in terms of how they wanted to do the story. Like, Red and Blue came out, the show came out, and then they, you know, not only adjusted the art to become more in line with what they had on the show, but they also added little story elements, which is awesome. And story has become more and more complex in the Pokemon games, but this one right off the bat, like it throws you right into the story, and I like how it's like a day passes or 3 months later, like an actual allowance for the passage of time. Also, day-night system is back, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Although I did have this one weird thing. I was playing and I had closed my DS during the day, and like it was starting to get late, so the sun was setting a little bit. And when I opened it back up, it was nighttime, but the game was still in sunset. And there was like the next day, and then there's a scene where like the mom is just like, "What another beautiful day in Alola." Yeah, it's nighttime. It's like night. I'm just like, Mom's been drinking again. It's just such a nice sun. It's just like, that's the moon, Mom.
She's been spiking her moo milk.
Yeah. And they had a little something extra in her malasada. But so I like that. I love that, with the passage of actual time being recorded in the story, it feels like things are actually happening. It's allowing for time to pass, so that I don't know, because like time was very arbitrary in some of the previous games.
Oh yeah.
So I like that inclusion. I don't know how much of an impact it really has, but yeah. So I like the narrative. I like the differences and the changes that they're making. It feels very fresh. I don't like how long this tutorial feeling part is. But other than that, I'm really excited. I went with Litten as well as for my starter. I nicknamed him Koa, which is the Hawaiian word for warrior, which I felt would be appropriate for his final form. And I have Picky Peck, which I'm a big fan of. But out of the Alolan Pokemon, I haven't actually caught too many that are in my team at the moment. Most of them are Alolan form Kanto Pokemon and some other Kantos. Like I have Slowpoke. I've got Alolan Grimer. I've got Picky Peck. I had a Butterfree. I've caught pretty much everything along the way.
Okay.
I've got Alolan Meowth, but he's not in my party. And so I'm excited to keep going and to, try out these new Pokemon. The Pokemon that I'm really excited, though, other than Silvally and, like, Type Null, is Rockruff and Lycanroc.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm going to have a cat and a dog. It'll be great.
I have yet to come across one. I haven't found one in the wild yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that bums me out. But
I might have just missed it. I might have missed it. I don't know. Like, I looked for a little bit, but I just didn't come across any.
Yeah, I'm also excited for Turtonator. Like,
Is that the dragon fire turtle?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's awesome.
He's so cool. Yeah, there's a lot of cool ones that I'm excited about. Like, I'm a big fan of this Pokedex for this region. And, like, the Ultra Beasts, like, they're a very mysterious thing. Like, for me, who's only played, like, 2 hours of the game, and I haven't delved too much into the stuff online. So, like, from what I've seen of them, like, the art from what we have seen, is that they don't look like traditional Pokemon.
No,
and, like, being classified as Ultra Beast versus being classified as even if they were called artificial Pokemon, they would be under the umbrella of Pokemon, and it would be something we understand. But being a thing, they have their own names, but then being classified under Ultra Beast makes them feel very strange, alien, and creepy.
Yeah.
And I really like that. So I'm excited to see that as a hurdle for my character in his Pokemon to overcome. So I'm excited about that. Also, I'm glad that character customization is a thing in this game.
I am so happy. That was like the first thing I
understand why it wasn't in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but I'm glad it's back.
Yep, same here. That was once I got to Halue City. That was the first thing I ran for, was the clothing store.
Accessories.
Yeah, and isn't Hau'oli? Is that how? What is it? Hau'oli?
That's how I've been saying it.
Hau'oli City. Isn't that like the biggest city they said in Alola?
Yeah, it's not that big.
Yeah, it wasn't that big, but
Well,
I was
no,
surprised because usually
Was
the
it
biggest
in
city isn't first.
Yeah, was it the
Yeah.
biggest city or the biggest city on Mele Mele Island?
I can't remember. I just remember them saying it's the biggest city, but it might have just been for the island. Who knows?
All right.
But yeah, I like the character of Hao.
Yeah, he's
really
Yeah.
cool. I always think it's interesting that when they change it up from being a rival to like a, I guess he's still a rival, but
Kinda.
Well, he's not.
when he's not ass butt, but he's
He's not your Gen 4
fun.
rival. Paul.
My name's Paul.
I beat my Pokemon actively.
Well, he wasn't in the game though. He was just in the anime.
Yeah.
I will say, part of me kind of does miss the jerk rival, like from the days of Kanto or from Red, Blue, and Yellow and Gold and Silver. Like the rival that's your friend is cool, and I get it. It teaches kids like you can be competitive without being nasty, but like at the same time, it was always so satisfying beating Blue and Silver. Like,
well, once you get a little later in the game, there is a little somebody.
Oh,
okay, cool. All right, I'm excited for that.
That's good to know.
And then something else I thought of, and you brought it up earlier, Marley, and I can't remember the name of the group, but based on
the Aether Foundation.
The what?
Aether
Foundation.
The Aether Foundation. Is that I think Team Skull is a red herring for the actual villains.
Yeah. And
that the Aether Foundation is the actual villains, because the people that we see chasing Lily at the beginning of the game, they're definitely not Team Skull.
Yeah.
And I know that that the Aether Foundation has like a white, like sort of hygienic aesthetic to their appearance. Yeah. So I think, because Team Skull to me seems like, mischievous, but all around harmless. Like, they seem more like bumbling sort of
gangsters.
Gangsters. Like comical, but not really dangerous. Like, we're gonna steal your Pokemon, but like they actually can't.
Well, the first encounter, one of the earliest encounters you have with them. They're trying to steal an old man's berries. Like, like they don't seem competent enough to really.
No.
Yeah, and then when you're with that first captain, and they like come over and they're like, "We're gonna steal your Pokemon," and then he just ignores him, and the music like does this funny change, where, like goes to their theme, and then when he keeps talking to you, it goes back to his like very melodious, just like gentle music, and it's just like this funny contrast to sort of show just like how like they're a problem, but no one really takes them seriously. Like even like when I'm walking around, the first time someone mentions them, there's this couple talking. And they're like, have you heard like Team Skull is down to like the marina like bothering people? Yeah, I heard they were going up towards the some area where they're not supposed to be and trying to steal people's Pokemon, but they've never done it before. Like even the people like talking about them are just like, yeah, they're sort of doing this thing, but it's so I think having them be Team Skull, so, like in the Pokemon games, the villainous like antagonistic group is Team something, and so I think they're pulling a fast one on people by like. The Aether Foundation will actually be the real villains, and they'll be tied up with the Ultra Beasts somehow, and those will be our actual villains, and I'm really excited to see how that plays out. But like,
I think the members of the Aether Foundation are the Ultra Beasts.
Ooh.
Lily.
That's a cool idea.
Lily and UB01 have almost identical silhouettes.
Interesting.
I think they're the Ultra Beasts.
That would be really cool. That would be really cool. I would freak out if that's the case.
Yeah.
For people who have probably already beaten the game, because those people are out there, and maybe if you're listening to this, feel free, I guess, to say ha ha ha, but don't try to spoil the comments because I do read my comments. But I mean, I guess there's like sort of like a time constraint where there's like after a certain amount of time passes, I guess you can post whatever you want. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty happy with this game so far. It's very pretty. I like the soft lighting effects that they've done on the game. It's really pretty.
I'll say this real quick. It's chugging. Whenever there's multiple, like more than two, like people, like players, if it's you against two other Pokemon, it starts chugging, for me at least.
Oh, but I mean, you're on an old 3DS.
It's true. Although I thought it's the same hardware in the XLs. They're just like bigger screens. That's what I thought. I can't confirm that though.
I mean, it might be, but I've noticed the chug in my game too.
Okay.
It chugs during any double battle.
Yeah.
And then during a couple of the Z move cutscenes.
I bet it doesn't on the new.
The new 3DS, I'm sure is fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I bet that's like the little difference there, so that people who got that have a little bit of a reward.
It doesn't bother me though that much, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
it's you know.
it's not noticeable.
Have either of you guys gotten to Z moves? We didn't talk about that. And I haven't gotten to it yet.
I have a Z Stone, but I don't have a Pokemon that can use it. I've got the normal one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't have any normal types on my team right now, so I can't use
I have
it.
the event Munchlax with the Snorlaxium Z for
Right, right.
pulverizing pancake, but I haven't. He obviously hasn't evolved yet.
As far as I can tell from the Z moves, what you need is a Pokemon that has a certain type of move. So if you have a Pokemon, it doesn't have to be a fighting type Pokemon. If he has a fighting type move, he can have that Z crystal equipped, and then he can use the special fighting type move, I think.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
From what I could tell, yeah.
Cool. Have you gotten to use Z moves yet, Carson?
Yes.
And what do you think of them?
They're
as a new mechanic.
They're okay. It's just basically a super powerful move. If you need to one-hit KO somebody, you go.
I've been on the receiving end of one. It's not great.
Yeah,
that happens.
Now, was there something that like they ignore type immunities?
I can't say.
I could have sworn I saw that like when they were showing them off that like Pikachu could use his Z move on a Sandshrew. Maybe,
man. I know an enemy used their Z Crystal on one of my Pokemon, and it was not that effective. So that's still in play. The effectiveness is still in play.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about the immunity.
Well, I'm glad that the type resistance and advantage still works, because otherwise that would be very frustrating.
And the Z Crystal is a held item too, so that'll take up a held item slot. So
and once you use the Z move, you can only use it once per battle.
Correct. Yeah.
I think that'll probably be better for the competitive meta than Mega Evolution was, because then you have to sort of strategically choose when you use it, which I'm a fan of. But we'll see. But Mega Evolution is still a thing, so we're going into the Wild West of competitive Pokemon or something. Like, it's going to get crazy.
Yeah, Megas and Z moves and...
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. But, if you guys don't have anything else, I'm happy with it so far. I'm excited to go forward with more of it, and I'm excited for the companion game that is supposedly coming out for the Switch.
Yeah.
And I will actually buy a Nintendo console for the first time in my life.
Dude, I'm so hyped for that game, because I think what they can do, I think they can use all the models that they have for a new game and then just up-res, have a higher resolution. I think they can do that. So I would just love to have an HD mainline Pokemon game. That would be amazing.
Yeah, no one can see, but I'm doing the Pacha meme face.
There you go. Yeah. So awesome. Well, let us know what you guys think in the comments. Post the starter that you went with, your favorite Alolan Pokedex Pokemon, your favorite Alolan form Pokemon, and what you guys think of the game. I do check the comments, so if you guys could be spoiler-free, that'd be awesome. I might just not check them for a while, just to be safe. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm just preserving my innocence so that I can be surprised in the face of exciting story stuff in Pokemon. So if you guys want to check out Marley and Carson's content, they can be found on Marley D on YouTube and Save Station on YouTube. Ivan Bran, this has been the Geek XP. You guys have been awarded some Geek XP. And until next time, stay geeky, my friends.